started. There you go. There's a little fan right next to me blowing, so yeah. What's new, guys? What is new? Let's see who's on. Wanted to check in after Christmas. We had a really good Christmas. I didn't get a chance to jump on Christmas to say hello to everybody, so I wanted to go ahead and do that now. So, here I am. It's cold. It's cold. Hi, guys. I don't know who's all on. But make sure you say hello. Hi. Welcome, welcome. Who's on? So, not much has happened since the last time we talked. Yeah. Hi, guys. Say hello if you're on. It's cold in the room that I'm in right now. I am a little chilled. Indeed, indeed. Hi, Sarah. Happy holidays. I just wanted to check in real quick since I haven't had a chance to go live in a few days. I wanted to go live on Christmas because I know there's a lot of you. Hi, John. That didn't have family on Christmas, so I really wanted to check in. Hi, Running Wild. But I didn't have a chance to, so I'm sorry. But I'm checking in now. And we had a good Christmas. We play Christmas games all month long to earn presents, so it keeps my kids intrigued and interested in opening gifts all month. And right now I am in quarantine by myself while I'm waiting on my son to test for a national karate team. It's a pretty big deal. So that's going on. I'm excited and nervous for him. He texted me, told me he's having a good time and he's learning a lot, so that's really great. We did have a good Christmas. My husband made me the cutest gift. I haven't had a chance to post it to my Facebook, but he made me a coffee mug holder, and it says coffee, and it says espresso, cappuccino, latte, and macchiato. So it's super cute. He did that to surprise me, which was really adorable. I got him, so he has this bowl that he made, a cereal bowl, and it says Dad's Cereal Killer on it, and we made it when we went and did pottery. And so I got him this spoon, and I had it engraved, and it says Dad's Cereal Spoon. So I thought that was kind of cute, so I got him that. I got him some stuff for his vehicle, and what else did I get him? Oh, I got him this shirt that says Dad Jokes Loading, because he's always telling dad jokes and they're never funny, but he always tells them, so there's that. Sometimes they're funny, I guess. But yeah, so that's what I got him, so that was exciting. And then the kids got all sorts of mixed stuff. They got Nintendo Switch. My two did at their dad's house, and so I got them some games. And then they got lots of art supplies and family games. And the girls got these things where you can glitter your nails. So I thought that was kind of fun. I don't have nails. I don't like nails. Ooh, fluffy bathrobe. I just saw the cutest bathrobe on sale at Target, but I already have 2 bathrobes, so I didn't allow myself to buy it. But right now there's a lot of really good sales going on. Although I'm really mad at Target right now. So there's that. Clubs and a balloon animal kit. That's fun. I want to juggle. I can't juggle. I've tried to juggle. Did you say something? Oh, hi, sad memory. I didn't know that you said hi. Thank you, Sean. And today, my day has been pretty okay. I'm mad at Target because they had, okay, so I have a 4.5 quart KitchenAid. I have had it since 2005 or 6. So 14, 15 years old, my KitchenAid. And he did not shampoo Target's carpets. I know, what was he thinking? But anyway, so I have a really old KitchenAid, and I really want to get the 6-quart KitchenAid, but I found out you can get the 5-quart KitchenAid and you can just upgrade the bowl to a 6-quart and it'll still work effectively. So Target had on sale the 5-quart KitchenAid, and it was $199.99 forever, but they never got them in stock and you couldn't order them online. So it was super frustrating. So of course today I go to Target and I look for the KitchenAid, and the sale ended last night. So today they put out the KitchenAid, and I said, can you price match it to yesterday's sale, because like you guys didn't have any out, and it's just really weird that you would put it out the next day. And on the box it's literally written, don't put out till 11/29. So they didn't want that put out till the sale was over. Whatever, great. They could have said no, I'd have been fine with it, but the girl was like, yeah, we'll price match it. She was the manager. So then she said, okay, I'm gonna go price match it. You can go get it off the shelf, bring it up front, we'll go ahead and price match it to yesterday's sale. So I provided her with a copy of the actual ad, which had the sale price, and I also provided her with the picture of the naked shelf that didn't have the KitchenAid. And so anyway, she agreed to price match this. So then I bring it up front, she's like, oh, we can't, that's a significant decrease in price. And I said, it's a KitchenAid stand mixer, so it's for baking. So then I was like, okay, but you already said you would price match it. Like, now I'm just like freaking sad, because she said she was going to do it, and now she's saying, no, we're not going to do it. She's like, we'll price match somewhere else. So the cheapest I found, it was at Sam's Club for like $3.29, and I was like, that's significantly more. I'll just wait till it goes on sale next time. And then Best Buy has it online for $2.79, so I said I'd price match the $2.79 at Best Buy, and she said, oh, they don't have the same color, so we won't price match them. They just didn't want to drop the price that much, because other places have it on sale. But Best Buy doesn't have it in stock, so you can only get it in the store. And I finally found one, and now I can't even get it. And I'm not going to pay $449 for the same thing that was $200 yesterday. Not doing it. Maybe call me crazy, but I'm not going to pay more than double what it was yesterday on their shelf, or not on their shelf. So I'm not getting the KitchenAid. I'll wait. I'll just wait it out till I see it on sale for $199.99 again. I refuse to pay $1 more. So that's what happens when you have 6 kids and you become a cheap mom. You decide what something's worth, and you can't get it out of your head any other way. So yeah, I'll just wait it out. I don't need it. I have my 4.5 quart, but with 6 kids, guys, I make like 9 dozen cookies at a time. And so the 4.5 quart, you have to make 1 batch of cookies at a time. If I had the 6 quart, I could make my double batches, and it wouldn't be coming up out of the sides like it does. I make so much in there, and then when we make mashed potatoes and stuff, the bowl's just always so full because there's so many of us. So I just really need the 6 quart. But it's fine. It's fine. So I'll wait it out. I'll see what happens. See if it goes on sale again. On KitchenAid's website, it was on sale yesterday for $199.99. Of course, it was out of stock on their website too. So then today I went online and I saw there was a few colors in stock today. So I tried to message them. John, no. And of course they're closed on Sunday. So I was like, I can't win today. So I bought a video game for my son's Nintendo Switch, and then I came back and I started playing it. I played Mario all early afternoon by myself. It was so nice. I thought about calling corporate, and I might, and it was the store manager who refused to do what the CSM had already agreed upon. So yeah, I definitely have to call corporate, because the CSM who was in charge of the whole front end, she agreed to it, and then she checked it over with her manager or whatever, store manager, and that's who said, no, we're not price matching it. It's ridiculous. I just want my stinking KitchenAid, the bigger one, so I can make me some freaking cookies. Is that so much to ask? I'm gonna start a campaign, the Piper's KitchenAid campaign. Find a KitchenAid on sale for this price. Reward given. Favorite cookies to make? Oh, that's a hard one. But I love oatmeal raisin. However, raisins kind of creep me out a little bit because they do allow a certain amount of like bugs to be in your raisins. I don't know if you guys know that or not. So the FDA has approved like a certain percentage of bugs to be allowed in your raisins. So kind of creeps me out a little bit. But I mean, once they're cooked, I mean, it's pretty much fine, right? So I like oatmeal raisin. And this year we did oatmeal cranberry raisin. So that was interesting. And I really liked those. Oh, and I also do oatmeal raisin with almonds, and maybe put in some different flavors like like almond flavoring. Those are really good. I also really like to do chocolate crinkle. Yeah, I know. I didn't know that either until somebody told me that this year, and now I'm just like, bleh. My favorite part of my Christmas meal, yes, I did the cooking. My husband helped cook, and my favorite part of the meal is when we do, so every Christmas we talk about the peak of the year and the pit of the year, and we go over like what the highlight of the year was, what the best part of the year was, and then what the worst part of the year was, and what we want to accomplish before the new year, just something little, and then what our goal is going into 2021. So for me, this is gonna be really, I'll share what I shared at the dinner table. The pit of my year was also part of my peak of my year. So January 2nd of this year, I was in a terrible car accident. I was a general manager, very successful in my career. I have been voted Woman of Distinction in a women's publication magazine for my career as a manager. I've been in management for 17 years, and it's all I really know. In January, I was in a really bad car accident, totaled my car, didn't see it coming, completely unexpected. I wasn't distracted. I still don't really know what happened exactly, other than I ended up hitting a center barrier. I went across 2 lanes, hit a guardrail, then I went across 4 lanes, crossing over the center barrier, almost going over a cliff, and then my car flipped around and I landed somewhere in the center. And it was a really scary thing, and I had a lot of PTSD surrounding that when I would drive past that location. It lasted for a few months, but the biggest challenge that came with the car, yeah, you guys can ask questions, that's fine, as long as I can see what you're asking. We're not talking about Robbie's victims. But anyway, so in the car accident, I was told by my team of doctors, I've had roughly 12 concussions probably throughout my life. And I had brain surgery in November of 2016. So unfortunately, after the car accident, they said that I had 1 traumatic brain injury too many, and that I'm not allowed to return to working over 40 hours a week, and I'm not allowed to do a high-stress job. So everything I've ever known for a career just kind of got put on hold, and everything I worked really hard for, my career path, it just completely changed. So we had filmed in November of 2019 for the show, and it was set to air in September of 2020, and that's when it came out, September 9th. Leading up to that, I wasn't allowed to work at all for a period of time, so a few months, and I was on unemployment at that time. And then after my unemployment was up, I still was not allowed to return to normal work. I was allowed to return back to working for myself. And the reason I wasn't allowed to work 40 hours a week was because of my traumatic brain injury. So during the car accident, I had hit my head, and I don't remember hitting my head, but I must have, and all the airbags deployed, and I couldn't hear for a couple days, and I had some bruises and stuff, and it was just really scary, and there was a lot of memory loss with the whole situation, and I was having severe memory loss and a lot of confusion, so I wasn't able to remember things I did the day before, or even things that day. And if you were to give me like a grocery list, I wouldn't be able to remember most of the things on it. I was really struggling there for a hot minute, and so I was diagnosed with a concussion. I had to go through cognitive therapy as well as vestibular therapy. I don't know if you guys know what that is, but it's all for the brain. And the concussion center said I wasn't getting any better, and they were really concerned, so they sent me back to, sorry, this is hard. They sent me back to my neurologist team, and they looked at doing more neurointervention, which is any types of surgery, and they thought maybe I had a low-lying, my tonsils are low-lying in my brain, but they didn't think that was enough to be causing these issues. So they decided that it was 1 traumatic brain injury too many. And at one point I actually lost my license, and I had to get my driver's license back because my brain injury was just so much. So yeah, so it just completely changed my path for a while. And I just feel like, although that was the pit of my year and that was something really difficult for me to go through, it was so minimal compared to some of my other health issues I've had. So that was a pit, but it was also a peak, because I feel like God took an opportunity to say you're working 70 hours a week and that's just too many. It was too many. It was too much anyway. Sorry, I must have missed something. Yes, I definitely notice daily struggles about my TBIs daily, but it's not as bad now that I'm less stressed. So I ended up starting my own business doing personal shopping for people in my community, because with COVID, there was a huge need for the elderly that they needed a personal shopper, and there was all these other companies that were marking up your groceries 23%. I started out doing Instacart, but then I found out that Instacart marks up your groceries 23% if you shop at stores like Aldi's, and there's a few other places. So in like Shop and Save and stuff, they mark up your groceries 23%. And then on top of it, they charge you a fee, plus you have to tip your driver. So I started doing a service where I did it all by myself on the side. And I actually got hired by the Bachelor show. And I did private shopping for all of them. So it ended up working out, and I made good money, and I was able to work like 20 hours a week, which is what I finally got approved for. But they still don't really want me working 40 hours a week if I can help it. So it was really difficult. So then the whole episode aired, and everything happened. Sorry, I'm still looking. I'm not saying you can't ask real questions. It just doesn't, I just don't know if I'll answer all of them or not. I don't have to answer any one question. This is my channel, and unfortunately, if I don't feel like answering it, I'm not going to answer it. But I will try to get to as many questions as I can. So anyway, so with the whole TBI, so then the episode aired, and then people started reaching out to me, and then I started doing the YouTube thing, and I've tried really hard to focus on creating content that's going to help people moving forward, and I'm trying to come up with new content this week. I've been working on doing reaction videos, and I want to bring real stories and real research to light so that people understand the risks of what's going on in the real world when it comes to like sexual predators and things like that. So I started focusing on that. I'm still doing the private shopping thing on the side, and I have very loyal customers who I absolutely love and adore, and so I'm able to take time off when I need to, and when I'm having a bad day, they're not mean about it at all. They're like, take the day off and get my groceries tomorrow, which has been really nice. I also did a lot of Christmas shopping this year for people, so personal shopping doesn't include just groceries, but I was able to do different Christmas lists for people, which was really good, and it's been very flexible, so that's been really healthy for me. And then my husband, he is switching career paths right now, and so he's actually going back to work, so that's going to be a huge burden off my back. And so it's really been just a transition of a year. So although 2020 was rough and the pit was the car accident, it was also the peak, because I got to spend so much more time with my kids that I was missing out on because I was worried about making such a large amount of money as a successful manager that I kind of forgot to focus on like just being my mom, like a mom for my kids. And the accident really made me push pause and slow down, and I went backwards in a sense of like regrouping and refiguring out what I needed to do so that I could be there with my kids. So yeah, so it's been just a whirlwind of a year, but my peak of the year is just the fact that I've got to be there for so many incredible moments for my kids. And then my son was also diagnosed with autism this year, the baby, and so we started doing like several therapy sessions a week. And so me being home has allowed me to be able to do those things versus when I was working 70 hours a week. I don't know that I could have done all of the therapy that I would have needed to do with a baby. And so it's been a rough year for sure, but also we've all been healthy, knock on wood. So I can't really complain too much about 2020, and we've been holding it together, and I'm somebody who always has saved money, so I had a huge savings that I was able to pull from in times where we needed it. And then with all the programs going on with COVID, I mean, there's so many ways for you to be able to still survive during COVID and all the setbacks. So it's been an okay year. Now, as for some of the questions, let me see. I'm definitely doing better emotionally with everything, and I definitely feel like I've accepted my new norm, and social media and being able to make new content is huge, and it's a good opportunity for me because people want me to continue to make content, so I want to be able to do that for you guys. As for John, your questions, I will never talk about Robbie's victims, and obviously I know who the victims are, and obviously I'm very much in contact with them and healing. They're healing. Thank you. I definitely have my fair share of trials in life, and it just makes me feel more connected and closer to God, because I used to look at those trials and tribulations as moments of why, like I wanted to know why things were happening. And now I understand that my life has prepared me to be able to help other people, because when we go through things in life, it just brings us closer to our life's purpose. But so we actually have 3 boys with autism. All 3 boys have autism. Retriever explanation for autism. What are your thoughts if you have to share? I am not sure. Okay, so I'm not sure what causes autism. I definitely think that therapy, sorry, this is driving me nuts. My neck is tickling. There's a little fan blowing down here. I'm sure you can see my little hairs, and it's making my neck feel so tickly. It's driving me nuts. So all 3 boys on the spectrum, my son who's 13, my 2-year-old, and then my husband's 16-year-old son. They're all on the spectrum, but the baby is also my husband's baby. So I am not 100% sure what causes autism. I've never really been sure, but it does seem to run in families. My husband's also on the spectrum. But I do know that I feel confident that therapy helps with treatment moving forward with autism. However, can we really measure how successful something is? Because you never have 2 kids on the same spectrum. And so when you look at therapy, you would like to think you're doing the therapy and that it's helping and it's creating forward movement. But then when you think about it, you have to question whether or not the therapy is actually working. But for me, I would rather do the therapy and find out I did it for nothing than not do it and find out I should have. But we've actually been more successful with the baby with, he really likes sidewalk chalk, so that's very therapeutic for him. And we have a therapy swing for him, so that's very helpful. And we also do something called brushing. I don't know if you've ever heard of it. You do it every couple hours, and you brush the skin with a specific brush in a specific way, avoiding the spine and the pelvis area. So that seems to help calm him, and so that's helped him move forward. He also likes different sensory things, so I bought him a sensory bear, and it's a little bear. It vibrates, and you can squeeze it and hug it, and it gives you sensory stimulation. He also really likes his weighted blanket, except for it's so heavy. It's 25 pounds. So it's really heavy and awkward to like pull up onto the couch sometimes, but he really likes his weighted blanket. So that's been really healthy for him. And he also really likes different light displays. So there's like imaginary fish tanks that he can play with and different textured wall pieces, things like that. So I definitely think that therapy and isn't therapy expensive? So it depends on the kind of therapy you're talking about, Alexandra. Do you think giving him Play-Doh? So we've given him Play-Doh, we've given him shaving cream, we've given him slime, we've done that foam, the little foam balls that are just foam. It's called Floam, I think. We definitely give him all sorts of textures, and he also really likes baking, so that's been really good for him. He did not used to like things on his hands, so when his hands get really messy, he doesn't like it, but now he is uncomfortable with it, but he doesn't freak out, so that's been really good. We've also practiced yelling. This sounds so weird, but we cover his ears and then we yell. So now he can handle a higher volume than he could before. So like if we were down in the living room and we would yell for the other kids, he would freak out and just take off running, and it would just scare him so bad. And so you have to work them up to being able to yell. So you keep increasing their discomfort daily with yelling slightly louder to where they're comfortable. So then they're kind of like look around, but they don't freak out. And so now we can actually yell, and he'll cover his ears, and we'll say, we're going to yell, and he'll go, okay. And then he covers his ears, and then you yell, and then he'll yell whatever you just yelled. So it's kind of cute. I'm trying to read that last thing with the messy hands as a trigger for some. Yeah, and he didn't like things on his face, and he still doesn't prefer things on his face, but he doesn't freak out. But before, like when we were eating yogurt, if he'd get it on his face, he would have to instantly wipe it, and then he'd start smearing it, and then he'd get upset because it was everywhere. And so it was really frustrating for sure, but he's definitely built a tolerance. So now we can eat spaghetti or different things, and it can sit there for a second, but you can't leave it there after he's done eating. But he can leave it there longer while eating. but he's still working on not stuffing his mouth. He really likes to stuff his mouth. So I'll tell him, no, you can't stuff your mouth, and he'll spit it all back out. And I'm like, you have to take bites. And then he'll try to bite the blob that he just spit out, and it's so gross. But we let him do it. The therapist says it teaches him, let him do it. So we let him do it, because you don't want him to freak out over the blob, because he created it. And it's just this whole mess. But he's doing really good, for sure. Cameron, I don't know what my favorite movie is because I don't have time to watch movies. That sounds terrible, but I really like Harry Potter. I really like Twilight. I like a lot of those. He's very, very high functioning. So he's talking now, and he wasn't talking really at all before, but now he's saying different things. Elena, we love food. So anything we can celebrate with food, we do. So like every holiday, we just make feasts. So for New Year's, we're just going to be at home. We got lots of different grape juices that are sparkling. And usually we eat like some kind of shrimp scampi or something. And then we make a crab ball. You can get cheap, so people who want to make a crab ball, but crab is super expensive. It's like $30 per can in the deli section. So if you go to where you buy canned chicken, you can actually get little cans of crab meat there. And they're much less expensive, and the kids still enjoy it, mixed in with some cream cheese, and then you throw your cocktail sauce over top. So you can do pretty low scale dinner, like pretty inexpensive, and still have it feel fancy for the kids. And then shrimp is always on sale around New Year's Eve. And then my husband likes to make sauerkraut and pork because that's his tradition, that you go into the new year with that. Whatever, I'm not a big pork eater. And then we do like little appetizer things, so whatever we do. Yeah, I know, Victor. I've just been so busy. I'm sorry. Yes, I love barbecue food. It's one of my favorite foods, actually. I love me all things barbecue. Cooking with Mama video sometime soon. So we're not going to feature our kids on the YouTube channel. So I don't do any cooking with the kids on my channel, just because I don't feel it's appropriate to kind of put their faces out there. They're still minors, and I just feel like, yeah. But I do cooking with Kristin videos, especially on my Facebook. So I actually made peanut butter fudge and taught everybody how to make my famous peanut butter fudge on Facebook. So if you're on my Facebook, it's facebook.com/Kristin_Piper_961, and Kristin is IN, not EN. But yeah, so you can go on there, and I do cooking on there frequently, or at least share my recipes and stuff. And I also did make kitty and dog treats once. Yeah. Oh yes, I know, you are allergic to peanuts, but I wondered if you were allergic to strawberries also, because some people who are allergic to nuts are also allergic to strawberries, because strawberries share the same family as nuts. Some people don't know that. So Alexandra, we have tons of pets. We have 3 dogs and 3 cats. We have 2 Maine Coons and an Orange Tabby, and we have 2 St. Bernards and a Pomeranian. So everybody has a friend. New Year's resolutions. I'm going to go with the same resolution that I have every single day of my life, which is I want to be a better person tomorrow than I am today. That is my goal each and every single day. If I can learn something new, and if I can just be a better person tomorrow than I was today, then I'm doing okay. Do you vaccinate your children and babies regularly? Yes, my children are vaccinated. Big dogs and 1 small dog. Yeah, so the small dog was first, and then we got the 2 St. Bernard puppies, and when I was a child, we used to breed chow chows, and so I really missed that aspect, and so I want to potentially go back into that and raising puppies. And so Teddy is the Pomeranian, and he gets along great with everybody. And Teddy is more like a cat, and our cats are bigger than Teddy. So Teddy and the cats play a lot, and so he's not really alone. And then the St. Bernards play with him too. And then the St. Bernards also try to play with the cats, but the cats really don't prefer the St. Bernards. But they have plenty of opportunity to get away, so. No, I'm not fostering. But we did rescue. So our 3 cats that we have were all rescued. The 2 Maine Coons they were going to put down because they became too old to adopt out, so we saved them from a breeder. And then the Orange Tabby, he was stuck in the middle of the road, and so we saved him. and took him in, and he chose me as his human, so I couldn't get rid of him. I felt so bad. I was fostering him originally, and then I was like, I can't foster him. He loves me. And then the St. Bernards we got, and then the Pomeranian we got. They're all our little babies. I saw a question, but I already forget what it was. How do I feel about Pitbulls? I don't have an opinion about Pitbulls. I'm sorry. I've never owned one, and I don't tend to have strong opinions about anything that I'm not fully educated on or anything that doesn't affect my life. And I've never really been around Pitbulls, and I don't know a lot about that breed because I haven't researched it. So I would never make an uneducated opinion, if that makes sense. Aw, a husky. Huskies can be really hyper, but they're also so cute. St. Bernards can be a little bit much as puppies, but mine are so laid back. Ew, no way. No snakes in my house, because I grew up and I used to play with snakes, and now they just creep me out so bad. I just can't do it. And we had a tarantula, and it used to shed its skin every year. Nope, I can't do it anymore. It just creeps me out. I'm sure they probably are misunderstood. I just don't know enough about the breed to really have an opinion. Yes, we have 3 cats, 3 dogs. A long-haired dachshund, 6 years old, never making that. Aw, they used to scare me, but my ex has nice sweet. I know. I mean, snakes aren't bad creatures. I don't have anything against them other than they just creep me out. I'm just a scaredy cat, I guess. I think it's because when I was younger, we had this big shed, and there was an upper deck to the shed, and a big black snake came out from the top of the shed and basically like chased me up a hill. It was following really fast behind me, and I remember that as a kid, and it was a real snake, and that really got to me. And then my friend had snakes, and she used to love them, and it just creeped me out so bad. Oh, I actually like farm animals. I used to help out on a farm, and I miss that. A lizard, no, I can't. They creep me out. Something about them creeps me out. Sorry. Snakes creep 99.9% of people out, so I'm not the only one. Well, that's good to know. Ugh. I don't have anything against people that love snakes or want to have snakes, because there has to be people who love them and will care for them, because they deserve a home and somebody to love them. I mean, I want to say I love them, but do I really love them if I don't want to touch them or want them around me? I don't know. But I try to love all animals and people, but I don't know. Snakes just kind of creep me out. Best canned soup, please and thank you. Progressive. Yeah. I had to make sure I didn't say the car insurance. Sometimes I do that. Progressive soup. I love it. And I would go for, I really like traditional chicken noodle. I do not like their broccoli cheddar. It's disgusting, and it tastes like garlic, and it's weird. Yeah, I can't do the rodent thing either. My son had a hamster for a long time, and that thing used to get out. And then the cats, if they got into his room, would try to knock it off the thing. It was just too much stress. Ooh. Okay, so you're sitting in the aisle. Okay. I really like, so I like a regular Campbell's cream of mushroom. If you're going to get cream of mushroom, I would just do the condensed one for that. I also like Italian wedding. It's delicious. I like that vegetable minestrone. It's delicious. I also really like, so the Lipton boxes extra noodle. I like those, and then I just get some egg noodles, and I throw in a handful of egg noodles, so I make my soup more soupy. And then this is really, really weird, but I like to take Oscar Mayer hot dogs and chop them up and throw them in, and I use them as like the meat for my hot dog soup, I call it. So I do that. That's really weird, but you could try it. You might like it. I also like regular canned vegetable beef soup from Campbell's, the condensed one, and I only put in a half of a can, and then I put crackers in it, and then I take potato chips and I scoop it out and I eat it on potato chips. Also weird, but something I do. And I've done it since I was a little girl, and it's something my sister and I always did. So it's very bizarre, but. Oh, John, you didn't offend me. It's very, very hard to offend me, and if I feel like you're out of line or inappropriate, I'll simply just tell you, and it's okay. No harm, no foul. I'm sure you didn't mean anything by it, and generally, when we are somebody who has a spectrum disorder, we don't always understand appropriateness or when to ask something appropriately. And so, no harm, no foul. I have 3 boys on the spectrum. My son, ooh, I almost just name dropped him, the 13-year-old, he is terrible with appropriateness, and he also doesn't know when to stop. So it's something I've learned to love and respect about him. And yeah, it's just, everybody's unique, and even if you're not on the spectrum, we all struggle with different things, and we all have our own battles. And I certainly don't get upset over people asking questions or having a desire to have more knowledge about anything, because I'm somebody who I love to learn. I think having knowledge is power, and I think that that's great. So no worries, not offended. You guys are good. Okay, what else do you guys want to talk about? Eventually, I gotta jump off. I can't be on super long tonight. I need to, Magic School Bus is a great show, but I need to run and get some more coffee, and then I have to pick up my son. I think my mom's on the autism spectrum, but she is in her 80s, and I'm pretty sure she's never been. So there's a lot of people that were never diagnosed. My husband was never diagnosed. So, wait, who has pet chickens? I missed this. We used to have pet chickens. And now where we live, we're not allowed to have pet chickens. And I love pet chickens, but I'm afraid to touch them. But I do love pet chickens. We have sausage soup, sausage, carrots, vegetables, potatoes. That sounds really good. We have something called, it's a soup, Zuppa Toscana, so that's Italian, and it's a sausage, potato, kale soup, and I make it all the time. You can also get it at Olive Garden, but I have my own recipe. If y'all want that recipe, I could definitely do making a Zuppa Toscana recipe. Oh, it's to die for. It's basically heavy cream, butter, chicken broth, kale, sausage, a little bit of bacon, and sliced potatoes. So good. Hi, welcome. But yeah, I could definitely do a live doing that. That's, oh, it's delicious. So delicious. Oh. I never understand jokes, so I'm sorry. I am horrible with jokes. Literally, I'm the last to understand a joke, and 99% of the time, I probably don't understand them at all. Oh, that's exciting, John. So I've saved 2 baby birds in my life, which is kind of crazy, but I always find them out of the nest, and I just save them, and I love on them, and then I set them free. Yeah. I love when people have pet chickens. I think pet chickens is great. And they also eat insects and stuff, so I think natural chickens is pretty awesome. I made you yodel before you understood that knock-knock joke. You did make me yodel. I remember that. But yeah, so I shared my favorite joke with you guys already that I taught my kids. So yeah, so what else? Trying to think. I forgot what I was talking about. Oh, the soup or whatever. But yeah, I seem to like strange soup. I eat my soup very strange. And you know what's really funny is my husband says he doesn't like hot dog soup, but then the other day he made soup and cut up hot dogs and put it in it. And I said, I thought you don't like hot dog soup. He's like, this isn't your hot dog soup. I was like, it's pretty much the same thing. So I really love me some Starbucks. I know some people don't support Starbucks or anything, but actually Starbucks as a company isn't horrible. They use their overpriced coffee to pay for farms in other countries to provide jobs and farming for different countries, and they also support local coffee growers, and so that's a good thing, right? So I can stand behind the company in that regard. I don't know everything about Starbucks, so I'm sure there's things I don't like about them, just like I'm sure if you guys told me your entire life story, there's going to be things I don't like about you, and I'm sure there's things about me that annoy the hell out of you guys, and that's okay too. But they do. Starbucks does a lot of really good things, and they pay their employees a very good wage, and so that's also really great. But I do love me some Starbucks, and at home I have an automatic espresso machine, and I actually use Starbucks syrup, and I also use their espresso beans. So yeah, and I like to get Starbucks when I'm out and about. I've actually never tried their cake pops. I'm hypoglycemic, so I don't know. It would probably raise my sugar and then make it crash, and that's never fun. The other day I was in the hot tub and my sugar crashed, and I just felt so weak after. And my kids brought me out a slice of pizza because I was out there and I text the kid phone, and they heard it go off, and then they answered it, and I was like, yes, they heard me. Me shopping at Starbucks, except for it's IN, not EN, but that's okay. I think I was at a Starbucks one time when I did a live from my Facebook, but not my YouTube. But yeah, I love Starbucks. I buy my coffee beans though at Walmart in the coffee aisle, and then a lot of people don't know this, but if you go to your Starbucks, you can buy a bottle of the syrup right at Starbucks. You can buy it off them. So that's what I do, and I have the pumps at home. So yeah. Yeah, so you guys can do that. It'll save you money. So I average probably like 50 or 60 cents for a caramel macchiato at home. Okay, it's probably closer to $1 because I add the whipped cream and the caramel. So I don't know, maybe. My husband has mastered frappuccinos. Thanks. I try to give good tips. I share basically everything, so there's not a lot I won't share. I don't know that I haven't kept anything from you guys. Yeah, my husband makes good frappes. I don't really like them because it's okay. It always autocorrects my name wrong. But I don't like frappes because usually they're higher in sugar. And I also like making my Starbucks at home because I don't use a lot of the sweetener. I only do like 1 pump of vanilla. I used to love regular coffee, but I've been drinking coffee more of my life than not. Since I was a little girl in like kindergarten, I was stealing my grandmother's coffee. I love coffee. I have a true passion for coffee and should open a coffee shop, but don't. I could drink easily 5 or 6 macchiatos a day. I do. It's terrible. I don't prefer the refreshers, but I don't mind the pink drink. You know, sorry. Okay, cool, John. I don't really like dragon fruit. Wah. But I do kind of like the pink drink. It's not bad. It's okay. If you've never had Starbucks, you're probably not going to like Starbucks right away because it's really strong coffee. So I would go with something like some form of a latte, and maybe like right now, like the caramel brulee latte is great. Or go with the pink drink if you don't want anything coffee related. Or I like to get the chocolate chip frappes. That's really sweet and good. And who doesn't love a chocolate chip frappuccino? So I would start there if you've never had Starbucks before. I definitely wouldn't go for a macchiato of any sort because that's a double shot of espresso. It's going to be a lot stronger of a drink. Plus the espresso's on top, so it's going to kick you in the face right away. Versus a latte where the espresso's on the bottom, so it's not going to kick you in the face quite as much. You're going to taste more of the milk and the sweet versus a macchiato where you get that kind of at the end like a dessert, if that makes sense. I know what defamation is, but defamation is only in effect if it defames you from like the general public, or if it affects your life in a negative way that it defames you. So that would be like a lawsuit, but yeah. Yeah, I do like me some Starbucks. It's okay, John's just talking and sharing some things about himself, so yeah. Aw, I'm sorry, John. I don't know who that is, Cameron. You always ask me. People, I don't know. How about these forehead wrinkles, guys? How about those? Let's talk about those. I always wrinkle my forehead. I can't help it. And I don't care. It's okay to have forehead wrinkles. My sister got Botox, and I'm like, nope, I'm going to keep my wrinkles. Because this is my story. Wrinkles of wisdom. Sure. Look at these eyes. Look at these wrinkles. Oh, yeah. I got all sorts of crow's feet. Isn't that funny? I don't care. It's okay. That's part of aging. I'm going to age gracefully. And I was heavier, so my skin got loose. Now I have all sorts of wrinkles. I don't care. It's okay. It's part of life. And I have stretch marks from having babies, and I'm okay with that too. Because those are my zebra stripes. Or tiger stripes, whatever you want to call them. Anyway, what else do you guys want to talk about? Any other questions before I go? Ouch. I just kicked my chair. Sorry. Embrace it. You earned them. I did earn them. It's all the stress. Although I've never had a gray hair, knock on wood. Yeah, I don't care to be fake. I'm so worried that Christmas chocolates are going to put pounds back on. So if you have a setback, I gained 10 pounds over the last few months, which is fine. And I'll get it back off when it's time to get it back off. You just have to love yourself regardless of how you are and understand that everything happens in God's timing. So if you gain a couple of pounds, it's okay. Don't make it detrimental and just get back on point and make it a priority to get yourself back on track. You can do it. You totally can do it because you already did it. So the hard part was learning that you could do it the first time. Doing it again is not a big deal. So yeah, you got this. Stay focused. And don't beat yourself up if you struggle. It's okay. Every once in a while, I like to eat chocolate. I just bought a whole bunch of snacks recently, and I was eating chocolate yesterday. Me and my son, we bought this bag to try all these different chocolates, so. Through a screen. Aw, I love having multiple children. I take on lots of people as my children, so you always have a mom and me. Love you and your beautiful family. Gotta go watch Tim Dillon podcast. All right, John, have a good night. Oh, thank you. I tried to do videos. Sometimes I don't know why people want to hear me ramble. Like this whole video, I'm pretty sure I just rambled about like nonsense the whole time, but it's okay because I missed you guys. Oh, I ain't having no triplets. Nope. Can't do it. Not doing it. But if I did, I'd own that title and I'd have 3 kiddos. I'd be like, well. I'm so weird. Anyway, Starbucks over coffee chains. Do they have better? Yes. So I like the taste of their coffee beans versus like some of these small mom and pop shops. I don't like the weird caramelization they do to their beans. I like my beans to have a very espresso, like a baked flavor. And there's not a lot. So I really liked, there was a company called Caribou Coffee. I used to love their coffee. And then they disappeared. I don't know where they went. And, but I've tried like local coffee shops, like mom and pop shops. And oftentimes they also use, it's like Turissimo or whatever the syrup is. It's disgusting. If anybody on my channel uses a coffee or owns a coffee shop, do yourself a favor and stop using garbage syrup. It is horrible. I don't care that you can get it easily and readily available. Find a syrup that costs more money, sell your coffee for a little bit more expensive of a price, and have a good coffee versus just like mass producing mediocre garbage coffee. Yes. I can't, those syrups are awful. So I don't have enough time to read books, but I love when people do book clubs. I think that that's great. And I used to read a lot. Now I don't really have as much time with all the kiddos. But I've been still working on my book, and I'm supposed to be working on my book over the next couple of days, but we'll see if I get to that. Okay, guys, I'm going to go get coffee, and then I'm going to go get my son. So excited to see how he did, and when he finds out if he makes the national team or not. I'm so nervous for him. I'm not telling him that. I'm acting like, oh, this is no big deal. You've got this. But this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for him, so of course I'm freaking nervous. But it's okay. A backflip. I can't do a backflip. Do you want to see me break my back? I could never do that. And I would love for you to keep your $10. I don't need your $10. How did you manage to lose your weight? So I actually got what's called intestinal metaplasia. I got really, really sick, couldn't eat for a while, had to have stomach surgery, and it's not a good story. It wasn't through willpower and strength. It was through medical need for intervention because of cells that they found in my stomach. So yeah, there was that. And I mean, I did have to like be on more of a strict diet after that, but it wasn't because like I decided one day like I'm gonna get into it. But in fairness, I gained all the weight from medical conditions as well. I've always been about the size I am now my entire life, And then I had what's called pseudotumor cerebri, and I gained a ton of weight because my head hurt all the time, constant migraines, constant just excruciating pain. And so I would eat to make myself feel better because it would take the edge off the head pain. And then I ended up gaining a bunch of weight, and they put me on a whole bunch of different medication, and I gained all this weight. It was horrible. And then I had to lose all of that. And then I lost it, and then I gained some more back after they switched my meds, and then I lost it. It was just a pain. And then I got the intestinal metaplasia, and yeah, the egg, I didn't throw it at my son, which is good. Yeah, I was on Diamox for a while. They tried me on all sorts of stuff, and it was awful. I ended up getting a brain stent in 2016, not a shunt, it's a stent, and that really saved my life. I only had 30% oxygen to my brain at that time because my veins were closed off so much from the compression, and so they put a stent in there, which opened up my blood vessels, and I've been doing a lot better since, and I've been in remission. I've probably had like close to 100 lumbar punctures, I feel like. I don't know. And so I hate lumbar punctures, and they're so traumatic. They're so obnoxious. Hi, Christine. I'm actually jumping off. I know you're gonna hate me. But yeah, so I wish I had some like great motivational, like this is what I did to lose the weight. I just had to take it real serious, and they won't put in a shot for me. That's what took my eyesight. It ruined my optic nerves. Yeah, my optic nerve in my right eye is very damaged, and I'm actually losing the color in that eye, so eventually I'll only be able to see black and white in my right eye, which is fine, whatever. I'll still be able to see color in my left eye, but I got my vision back, and my optic nerve was completely compressed at one point, and they thought I had a brain tumor, and that's how I ended up getting diagnosed. I kept telling them for months that I had all this pressure, and they wouldn't listen to me, and then after I lost my vision, they were like, oh, there's something going on. So you did catch me at the wrong time. It's horrible. But yeah, I hope my son makes the team too. I'm so excited and nervous for him. If you guys want, I can take you with me until I get down to my car, but that's about it. My favorite musical instrument, I used to play the trumpet. Oh, I have so many medical conditions, it's not even funny. So many. I'm hypoglycemic, and that affects me each and every single day. It's so annoying. Actually, a lot of people have pseudotumor cerebri, and it's very common now versus before. It's getting diagnosed better now, but 1 in 100,000 people have it, so we won the lottery. Yay! Just kidding. It wasn't a lottery. It sucks. There was days I couldn't get out of bed. I was in so much pain. So it's not so much for the Olympics. It's a national team for karate, and they do national competitions, and they're very well known throughout the entire country, and they compete, and they do it for a career. And so he really has an opportunity to like start a career path very, very early. I think he'll get it. I think he'll do fine. I never finished my story though about my son and how watching him do karate, how I've gotten used to it, but I have to finish that story at one point. I forget who it was that was listening so intently, and then my phone died. It was horrible. But yeah, I need to finish that story at some point, just not tonight. But I've watched this child go through so much. I've seen him get knocked down, break his pinky, get a concussion, like, oh, this kid, I tell you. But he didn't actually get a concussion. They thought he had a concussion, but then he actually was cleared, and so he wasn't concussed. They were really good helmets, but, oh, as a mother, you see these things happen, and you're just like, ah! And then eventually you get used to it. He's got, I mean, him and I spar, and he's kicked me in the side of my head. I've kicked him in his head. Not hard, but, like, it's part of sparring. So, you know, it's fun. It's actually athletically challenging and super fun. Ew, that sounds horrible. I would not want to shatter my teeth. Ouch. His teeth, he finally got braces, so he looks so cute right now. They're all getting fixed and everything. I just remembered, we forgot to remold his mouth guard before we left home. I hope he was able to wear it all day. It probably felt really tight on his teeth. I'm gonna have to find some boiled water and boil it for tomorrow, because this is like a 4-day thing for him. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Okay, guys, anything else? If not, I'm gonna go get my coffee. And then, I don't know. And then I'm gonna go wait for my baby. I might get me some dinner too. You should think about maybe making diet adjustments. It may work out for you. I don't know what makes you think I haven't made diet adjustments. I clearly have, obviously. If you're hypoglycemic, you have no choice but to make diet adjustments. Otherwise, you're gonna be crashing all the time, and it's miserable. So I see a dietitian and a nutritionist. So I still miss my 2 teeth. I only have the bottom one. The fake teeth look so real though. That's cool. At least you have fake ones. Okay, guys, I am jumping off, and I will try to go back on tomorrow. Maybe during the day, maybe in the evening, maybe both. I don't know. But I'm going to work on some content videos and stuff too. I also want to do reaction videos, but I haven't figured it out. I tried to do it on my computer, but it's not recording my screen that's happening on my computer, so it's really confusing. But anyway, I'm jumping off. Coffee time. All right, guys. Love you. Bye.